What is going on, you guys? You are back at HPP with your boy ABC, Adam Benjamin Coleman, here on another, Friday evening? Friday evening with you. Hope you had a great day, and I hope that you get to watch the last segment of my videos, which was primarily on relationships. So, before we get into the nuts and bolts of what we're going to be talking about today, I want to remind you that although I do have a lot of life experience, which is what I will be sharing with you, nothing more than my experience, strength, and hope, what has worked for me. It's not medical advice. It's not legal advice. It's not to advocate or denounce any practice, religion, thought process, anything, all right? So we're not talking down about anybody. We're not saying anything or anyone is any better than anyone else. Just want to put that up there, okay? So, that all being said, I hope you guys had a fantastic week. As I said, we talked about relationships last time. Why would we be talking about relationships on a performance-based YouTube channel? Well, I'll tell you why. The way we perform starts at the most basic level inside of us. Thanks, Captain Obvious. No, but what I mean by that is, if our bodies don't have to fight to achieve homeostasis, balance, normal, then we have all this extra energy to devote to outside things. But if inside of us, we have to struggle and we're not nourished and we're not hydrated and we're not positive and we're not fit in all the other ways that we can be fit or unfit, then our body has to work extra hard to cover those bases and put those fires out before it can even think about going to gain more muscle mass or improve your cardio or improve your social skills or all the above. So when people say work smarter, not harder, that is true on so many different planes. And for all intents and purposes, what we're talking about now, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? If you are taking care of yourself and you stay in a place where you're able, you're ready to go at the drop of a dime, then there's really no work, there's no process in having to get ready and make sure that you have everything on your checklist crossed off and this and that and the other thing. You just go, you just do it. That's easier said than done, especially in today's world where there's a lot of different things going on, a lot of different things to get busy with. Relationships play into that too. They take up a lot of time, they take up a lot of energy, mental, physical, emotional, otherwise. Again, this is not to put a damper on anyone's relationship that they may be in or may not be in. Relationships are great, they're necessary. I just had a huge learning experience from mine, and I'm going to share it with you guys. That's all. Relationships, from what I've noticed in my friends, what I've seen in my friends, they can make or break someone's fitness goals, and that depends largely on the person with the goals, right? Like, if the first person that tells you you can't do something knocks you off your track, you're a pussy and you weren't going hard enough for that goal anyways, right? Like you have to be ready to overcome a fair amount of hate and negativity if it's really something that you feel passionate about. It's good. You should thank people that tell you you can't do it and that it's going to be too hard and that you should think about something else. Because when you're standing on top of the hill, you can say, yeah, I did that. And you don't even have to be mean about it because they're down there at the bottom like, shit. I thought it was hard before. I didn't even really think it was possible, and he just did it, and I told him he couldn't. I kind of feel like a jackass now. If you don't think that that's going on in the minds of some of those people, you're dead wrong. Let your walk and be your talking. Just do what you do. Do what you say you're going to do. Tell the truth. Work hard. The rest will take care of itself. So it's pretty. Sorry, I had a puppy that was being a little distracted and trying to destroy a screen door. It's difficult to keep that balance and decide when those goals are adding to your life and when they're becoming your life and running your life. And, you know, as a recovering alcoholic, when I first stopped drinking, I started bodybuilding. And it was great. I was all about it, man. I was on the schedule. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing, the meals, the supplements, the drugs, the training, you name it. And I did well. You know, I qualified for nationals. I looked great, and it changed my life. But it ran my life, you know. And if I didn't have a good workout one day, or if I missed something that was on the schedule, like, dude, it was the end of the goddamn world, you know. And that would change a lot of my day and a lot of other people's days too, you know. And I didn't really know that till after the fact, but that's just not fair, you know. And it's annoying as fuck, man. No one wants to be around somebody like that. You can be goal-oriented and super about it, but I mean, just always being like, just an uptight Karen, is just not, it's not fun, it's not healthy, you know? It's the opposite of what we're trying to do. So, you know, I, being the addict, alcoholic, impulsive, type A person that I am, can take anything and just go balls deep in it till it's a problem, you know? And that's what ended up happening with bodybuilding. You know, I took something healthy and I turned it into something that was running me and ended up being unhealthy, you know? So I was out of balance yet again. So balance, 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 balance. I feel like Mr. Miyagi. If I can catch a fly with chopsticks, we're onto something. But keeping with the topic of balance and going back to relationships, that gets tricky because, as I said in my last video, relationships are necessary. You know, we were not made to be alone. We weren't. So, you know, find someone as screwed up in the head as you are, settle down, and appreciate that person, because they're not guaranteed. It's not just a magic thing that you're gonna find the person in your dreams. You might not, or you might have to work a little bit for it, or you might find them and you might lose them. You don't know. So, if you got someone special, treat them special. If you're trying to find someone special, make sure you're treating yourself special so that they want to be around somebody special. Enough said. Now, let's say you found somebody special and you really want that to go well, but you're also really, really, really into a specific hobby of some sort, okay? Now, ideally, if you really care about this person and they really care about you, they're gonna wanna know a little bit about that hobby since it takes up a large part of your life, ideally, right? Now, this is where it gets complicated. You know, you don't want to try to force that hobby, lifestyle, belief system, whatever it is, on this relationship, especially if it's a new relationship, you know, like easy does it. But at the same time, also, it's a part of who you are. If this person digs you, they need to kind of understand that this is what you do, and at least find a place to tolerate it. If they're not gonna like participate in it or be all about it, but just at least respect it and understand that it's very important to you. That should come pretty naturally. If it does not, that's already kind of a red flag. If you have to like basically force people to take an interest in what you're doing, that's not good. And if all they want to talk about is what they're interested in and what they're doing, and don't really give a flying where you've been the last 6 hours or what you do on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, it's not good, okay? It doesn't mean you all have to do the same things all day, every day, and, you know, never go outside of eyesight range. You know, I'm not saying that, but there needs to be at least mutual respect for the other person's interests, you know? Like, if I had a significant other and she liked quilting, we'll say, now I'm probably not gonna like learn the ins and outs of quilting and like start entering contests and be the best quilter in America. That's probably not gonna happen or be in my wheelhouse. But at the same time, I'm not just gonna sit there and be like, oh, you do what? Oh, that's cool. What's that? Oh, yeah, all right. You know, what's the difference in the stitches? Are there different needle sizes? Do different threads make it more or less difficult? Like, you know, actively listen. Try to figure something out. Like, pretend you care, even if you don't, right? But seriously, man, like, be open-minded. You know, there's a lot of different hobbies, there's a lot of different music, there's a lot of different genres of movies, there's a lot of everything, right? People are excited about a lot of different stuff. And if somebody's excited about something, be excited for them. You know, there's way too few people in the world that are genuinely goddamn happy to do something or about something or someone or whatever, you know? Like we're all so serious all the freaking time now. And it's just, it doesn't have to be that way, you know? We're supposed to be having fun along this journey. So anyway, back off my soapbox again. The relationship thing can get tricky because now not only are you trying to not force feed this person your, you know, likes and hobbies, you're trying to gradually introduce it to them and explain it to them, but not, you know, overwhelm them, you know, and at the same time listening to theirs. It's a tough give and take, you know. I let myself get to a place where like I lost, I'm gonna say I lost, but it's not really true. I gave away because it was my choice. My routine, my eating style, my workout routine, just the way that I lived my life completely changed. And I allowed that to happen. I got into a new relationship with someone that I cared very much about, still do, she's awesome. And a lot happened for her and for me. And it was new territory for both of us. There was a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes and it was a lot. Like it just really, I started to lose myself. I did not know who I was or what I was really doing anymore. And I figured out real quick that I'm really good at being a boyfriend and I'm really good at being an employee or an athlete. Doing those things at the same time is where Adam falls short, unfortunately. And that is because I strive for perfection in everything that I do. So everything is gonna be, you know, Shazam awesome, not just good enough, you know, or at least in my mind it needs to be. Come to find out that's not really the case, right? And we'll get back to that. But I put so much pressure on myself to be the perfect boyfriend and the perfect employee and the perfect racer and the perfect everything that I start spinning in circles if things aren't going perfectly. And then before I know it, I get to a place I'm like, fuck it, you know, it's not gonna be perfect. So why should I even try? Why should I even try? And then if I'm really, really stupid, why should I even stay sober? Fuck it. And go do something really stupid. Break out in handcuffs, go to jail, lose my house, lose my job, lose everything. That's what'll happen, right? One decision away all the time. Not just me, you are too. The only difference between me and you, I acknowledge I have a problem and I'm honest about it, right? Sometimes that bites me in the ass. With this last relationship, I really felt like I got held to a higher standard than a lot of other people. So, you know, other people might be making these mistakes and it's okay, they do that. But Adam makes this mistake and get him, you know? Like there was just no, there was no equality in the standards that were set for certain people. And that's okay, you know, that's something that was a good learning experience for a lot of different reasons. Because I'm a spoiled brat. I don't like to be treated unfairly or what I perceive as unfairly. So I'm pretty quick to bang on my high chair if I don't feel like I'm getting my way or if I don't feel like I am being treated like a human being. A lot of the time it's justified. It's still an overreaction. It's still not going to get things done any faster, but it's justified. The world does suck sometimes, and people have a right to suck, and that is unfortunate, but it is also very true. People have a right to suck, but they do not have the right to do it in your personal space if you don't want them to. So, that being said, if someone wants to act the fool, they can do that, but you don't have to be present for it. You don't have to own it. You don't have to be involved with it. You don't have to let it affect your day at all, at all. Same is true of your significant other. If they are just having a really bad day and just cussing, hollering, everything that anyone does is wrong, if it don't apply, let it fly, my friend. Just kind of, all right, well, I'm sorry you're upset. Let me know if I can do anything for you. I'm gonna go over here now, Just don't take it personal. Very rarely are people upset and they're upset directly at you. Like, you're the reason they're mad. Usually people are upset because of something that happened way over here. And then slowly they make their way across, and all of a sudden they talk to you and they say something or hear something that reminds them of what happened way over here. And now it's your fault, and they're fired up and they're ready to go. This is where, for me, my higher power comes in. Because when those instances happen, old Adam, and when I say old, like a couple years ago and beyond, will fire back real quick, verbally, physically, whatever, and not even think about what the person might be going through. Now, if I hear someone treat me like that or talk to me like that, there's this, you're having a bad day, huh? What's going on? What happened for you today? Like, tell me a story. Like, I want to explode. I want to be, mad, indignant, but then I had this humanity that comes out and I'm like, oh yeah, you have days like that too. Maybe this person's having one of those days. Maybe we should ask if they're okay. And man, you want to talk about like a scenario doing a complete 180. Take an irate person, make them understand you're not trying to fight, and get them talking about themselves, and watch what happens, dude. Like, you will quickly become their best friend. Dealing with people is not hard. Get them talking about themselves. We love to do it. We all love to do it. And a lot of people need to do it. There's a lot of people in the world who don't have any outlets, and they walk around holding this stuff that they don't need to feel responsible for, and it just eats them alive. And I can say that because I've done it, like, for so long, you guys, so long. It was just guilt and shame and anger and just so many negative things in my tank. And if you can visualize this, like, in our body, we have a tank, essentially, right? The tank can only hold 100% capacity, okay? Now, if that tank is full of negativity and anger and remorse and regret and resentment and all these things from the past, right? Those are taking up space. So there's no space available for love, for curiosity, for productivity, for joy, for happiness. You know, the list can go on and on and on. You can't exceed 100%. So if you're already clogged full of all this negative crap, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, And a lot of people, including myself for a long time, are full of negative crap. You know, you gotta empty that tank, and you gotta forgive yourself, and you gotta let go of whatever it is that's holding you down. Maybe someone made you feel shitty, like you're not enough or not good enough. They're wrong. And no person is ever worth you feeling that way, you know? Like, try to sit in the quiet of your mind, and if you don't have a higher power, I would highly suggest that you find one. This is not a religious channel. I'm not a religious person. I developed a personal relationship with God in 2019, and since then my life has been completely different. I grew up Catholic, and I never listened to a word they said. It was like Charlie Brown's teacher, just wah, 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 wah. Never heard it. Finally, it was probably July 21st. It was 2 days after I'd been into the Salvation Army, 2019. And I was kneeling in the chapel and I prayed to God, and for the first time in my life, I felt like he was listening and like he was talking back or actively listening. And at that moment, I just felt this absence of heaviness. There was no more noise. There was, in my mind, in my head, there was always just this like white noise, just this static, like all these half thoughts just like repeating themselves and just going crazy, and it would drive me flipping nuts, man. And that's why drinking and using was so appealing, because it would quiet that noise, right? But on this day, in the Salvation Army, obviously you're not gonna be drunk or high for sure. And I'm sitting there and I get this feeling of just peace and realize that I don't have to hold on to this stuff anymore and that it's gonna be okay. Like, none of it's that big of a deal. And I just sat there and I cried, but I was so happy. I was so happy. I felt like someone had taken 1,000-pound weight off my shoulders. You know, and I can't explain it to you guys, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there right now who think I'm crazy or who've already turned off the channel. I say higher power, I call mine God. It doesn't matter what you call yours, okay? And if you're an atheist, that's cool too. I'd love to talk about it. Comment, you know, get at me personally. Like, it does not matter to me what your belief system is. What matters to me is that you find something that you believe in that's bigger than you are. And here's why. At some point in your life, you are going to come up against a problem that is bigger than you. And when that occurs, you're going to get knocked on your ass. And if you don't have someone to help you, metaphorically, you're going to get your ass whooped. You're not going to be able to get back up. And you're going to suffer a lot more than you have to. Pain is not avoidable. It is going to happen in life. Everyone is going to go through pain. Whether or not you sit there in that pain and suffer from it, that's your choice. That is your choice, 100%. 100%. So back to the higher power thing. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. A lot of people I know don't. But let me ask you to do this. Like, if you look outside and find a tree, right? You didn't build that tree. You didn't make that tree. But if there's no higher power, there's no God, then make me another one right now. Make me a duplicate of that tree. No, can't do it. So there's something greater than you, right? Something greater than you can make trees and things like it in the world. So pray to that. You know, I don't care if it's a doorknob or a rock or an eagle in the sky that you see, but there is something responsible for us, for this whole life thing. And realizing that and trusting that is very daunting, you know, and a lot of people think it's weak to have faith or pray. I think it's weak to sit there and act like you have shit together when you know damn well you don't. But that's just my opinion. And I pray for those people. And just because I say that doesn't mean that I'm better, doesn't mean I think I'm better. I'm a dumpster fire. I need a lot of work. But that's okay. Because my higher power loves me anyways. He loves me anyways. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Doesn't matter. As long as I'm trying, as long as I'm honestly trying to be better, we're cool. We're cool. And the same is true for you. So if you're out there feeling like you just can't keep your head above water, man, let go of that anchor. It gets a lot easier to swim. Because no one wants to see you drowned. That is not the truth. That's your head telling you negative things. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be joyous. You deserve to be free. And those are decisions that you can make for yourself. Not all at once, but by making smaller decisions throughout the day, you can set yourself in a place where you will have a chance to be those things, happy, joyous, and free. Because if you're not, you're out of balance. And relationship, no relationship, it's not going to matter. A good relationship, hopefully, you guys will see one another for who you are. You'll know when the other one is struggling, and you'll pick each other up. That's what's supposed to happen. It's a give and take. There's always going to be someone who's more of a giver, but reciprocity is important. Recognition is important. When someone goes out of their way to help you, to show you love, thank them. Make sure you thank them. They don't have to. Nobody has to do anything for you, you know? It's all a blessing. So do that for someone else too today. Just do a random act of kindness. Just see what happens. So anyways, I know that we were kind of all over the place, as per usual. It's par for the course. If I wasn't bouncing off the walls, it wouldn't be the Human Performance Project. But I am back in a routine now, even though I am minus a partner. Life goes on, and things are going to be okay. I've learned a lot about myself, and I've learned a lot about what I want to do. And I've learned a lot about what I don't want to do, more importantly. So, been getting some good weight training workouts in. Also been riding that little steel thing behind me quite a bit, about 150 miles a week. Think I might do a century ride tomorrow, which is 100 miles, but we'll see. We'll see. I did a nice little chest workout today. Any workout of mine is bound to be little, but yeah, did some chesticles. and it was a good time. I've been using a different tempo, which I'll do a second video just talking about the workouts because we've gone through the balance thing. But please like and subscribe. Talk back to me here, people, about this whole relationship thing and how it affects your life and all the other aspects of your life. Or does it not? Have you found a way to balance it? Have you found a way to keep all the pieces of the pie even, you know? I hope for your sake that you have, because relationships are an awesome thing when they're awesome. When they're not, man, they can hurt. Man, they can hurt. But look for the learning experience. Don't let emotion ruin things that can be growth inspiring. Just trust that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Be accepting, be loving, be good humans. Treat other people the way that you would want to be treated. So please like and subscribe. Pepper and I, that's Pepper, would love to talk to you more about relationships and life balance. Talk a little bit more next time about narcissism and some different character behaviors or personality behaviors that can make or break relationships. But until then, be mindful of your balance. Be mindful of what other people might be going through. Be mindful of God's grace, because as we focus on one little minute thing in front of us, there's a whole world around us. So keep that world in mind. You're here for a reason. You fit in for a reason. So be the change that you want to be, or that you want to see rather. Thank you for tuning in. Be a good human being. Stay swell. Stay swole. And does anyone know a good veterinarian? These puppies are sick. Sorry, I'm done.